Hey there everybody, it's Torrance at Sword Guy Builds. In December of 2017, I made a nylon bullwhip with an oak handle, which I kept for a while, but ultimately sent off to a new home. So the new owner made some modifications to it and sent me back the handle, and I decided that this would be a great opportunity to upcycle it into something a lot more striking and luxurious. So we're about to revamp this handle and put it on a new whip. Hope you enjoy. The first thing I have to do is prep the handle for the new whip. This means drilling out the old glue and stripping down the old clear coat. I use a coarser grit sandpaper to remove the finish and a finer grit to smooth out the surface again. I also use a fine-tooth saw to cut off part of the handle I don't need. I cut my all thread and slightly grind the end down. When using threaded rods, there's always a chance that the finished whip may unscrew itself from the thong. I've learned that the hard way. So I also grind flats into it so there's no chance of the parts rotating against each other. This whip will take the Tachi model as its base form, meaning it will have a solid rawhide construction and one less bolster than my other bullwhip models. I'll cut out the core, bellies, bolster, and overlay all from the same hide. Cowhide doesn't respond the same way as rawhide does to stretching, which is why for the Tachi, even the core and bolster get stretched. Once I have the first belly braided, I can measure out the bolster. The bolster and second belly are prepped and attached in the same way as the core and first belly. Because of the way this whip is being put together, I need to skive down the portions of the core and bolster that cover the threaded rod. This will help to streamline the final geometry of the whip. While all of this is happening, the handle is in the care of Barbara Carrera-Torres, a good friend of mine who is also my shop-affiliated pyrographer. She'll be burning some intricate pattern work into the handle that will create a very striking contrast in the final aesthetic. Her work is very delicate. In addition to the tips being in the ballpark of 400 degrees, the irregular grain in the wood invites skips and gouges. She has to maintain a very precise touch using tips of different contours in order to execute the pattern to its fullest without damaging the piece. The smoke is also a hazard, so she wears protective equipment to keep from breathing the toxic fumes. This thong will be 16 plat in brandy. The overlay is stranded and prepped, and then braiding begins. I want it to have an understated elegance, so I start the braiding with some short herringbone, and then switch into the standard herringbone as I ease out of the transition area. I plan on covering the braiding change with my favorite accent knot, which is a 4-part 7-bite ring knot. Because of this, I need to use a very precise series of transitional steps to ensure the thin knot perfectly punctuates the separation of the two patterns. The rest of the overlay can then be braided with much more ease. Now that the thong is ready and I have the handle back from Barb, I can mate the two parts with a strong construction adhesive. This is a good option because it doesn't need to be mixed like epoxy and can still be relied on to bond with both materials. The finishing touches include the cover-up knot where the braiding starts, my ring knot, oil-based polyurethane for the handle, and shellac for the thong. I really love how this whip came out. It's got excellent structure in the transition zone, and it rolls out easily while still having healthy stiffness. And I've always loved the contour of this handle. I feel it registers very comfortably in the hand. It's highly functional, and thanks to Barb, it's also a gorgeous final product. Be sure to check out her work on Instagram. I have a link in the text. Thank you all very much for watching and for your continued support. Be sure to check out the shop, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.